Martin, and I'm speaking to you from Abridge Village Church here in the village. This is a short reflection on the Gospel story for Sunday the 12th of September. You can find it at the end of Mark chapter 8 in your Bibles at home. It's all about making a commitment and choosing the surprising way to be truly alive. This Sunday's reading from Mark is a turning point in the Jesus story and the experience of his followers. Up until now, it's been miracles and parables, healings and stories, but from this point on, the mood changes. I wonder if you can remember key moments of decision in your life story. Was it the choice of school, which was probably made for you? Just as many this last week have started somewhere new. Or was it when you had to decide between this job or that job? Or about deciding where to live, maybe? Or perhaps it's when you decided you'd found your partner for life, the person you wanted to marry and settle down with. All these are big decisions, and they can affect the whole course of our lives. In this story, Jesus is asking those he is with to make a big decision. Will they be supporters and followers, or will they become disciples? Will they stay as occasional Jesus Club members or be totally committed? And to do that, he asks them a key question which will reveal what being a disciple is all about. At this stage, rumours about who Jesus was were rife. Because he did miracles and he taught so well, many imagined he was some sort of prophet from the past, come back to life. Even some thought he was a regeneration of John the Baptist. So Jesus asked his followers, "Who do you think I am?" This is the most important question we can ever be asked. Who do we think Jesus is? What do we make of this remarkable person from history, whose influence is still being felt today, and who millions around the world believe was God on earth, and who people say is still alive? I wonder what your answer is to that big question. Now, Peter thought he knew the answer. Or maybe he thought it was the answer Jesus wanted to hear, rather than the one he had thought through thoroughly for himself. Peter says, "You're the special one from God. You're the rescuer. The Son of Man who's coming on clouds to put everything right. The one the Old Testament had predicted." And what Peter said was right. But when Jesus began to explain what being the special one meant, Peter couldn't understand. And he refused to accept what Jesus was saying. You see, Jesus explained that being the special one meant going to Jerusalem to die. Going to Jerusalem to be rejected. Because that was the only way to turn death into life. To change how the story ends for everyone. The only way to turn all ends into new beginnings. "No way," said Peter. "You're not going to die." But he received a sharp rebuke from Jesus. "You're thinking from a worldly perspective. You're missing heaven's truth in all this." And then comes the challenge. The moment to decide. The moment his followers needed to choose whether they wanted to be disciples or just friends that Jesus once had up in Galilee. To become a disciple, says Jesus, is to choose death, just as he was going to choose death in Jerusalem. To choose the way of dying, because it was the only way through to living. What on earth is Jesus talking about? The only way we can become fully alive, he's saying, as human beings, is not by having more and more, or by achieving more and more, or becoming cleverer and cleverer. The only way to be alive, says Jesus, is to say no to all that is selfish in us, to deliberately choose to put others first, to let go of ourselves as the centre of attention, and to put others in the spotlight, to make a commitment to live for others just like Jesus did. It's the only way to get it right, the only way to gain and become fully alive, having everything in the world, fame, riches, power, pleasure. It's not the way, says Jesus. There's no other way of saying this, but Christians believe that the way to life is through death. Disciples are people who have chosen to die. That's why when we baptize people into the faith, we talk about it being a baptism into death, just as Jesus experienced death. This is what it means when Jesus says, take up your cross. It means a daily dying. This is the only way to fullness of life now, a life that will never end. Yes, there are big decisions in life about our education, about where we live, about who we marry, about what jobs we do. But the most important decision ever, say Christians, is a decision to follow Jesus as his disciple and to discover all the good things that God has for us to do in this world and all the blessings of knowing God with us and in us through Jesus every single